That hit, the ball's out again. It's picked up by Lawrence again at the 20, to the 10, touchdown. DeMarcus Lawrence with 2 fumble recoveries returned for touchdowns in the first half.
Same thing, 6'2", but this is going to the end zone.
Against the 3-man rush, Daniels loads it up. Daniels into the back of the end zone, and it's over. Bear down. Arizona comes back in the fourth and wins it to get bowl eligible.
Gives it to Fontaine. He's at the 5. Fontaine scores a lumberjack touchdown.
Mark Williams grabs another rebound, his 6th to go with 19 points, and he'll hold the ball, give it up to Devin Booker, back to Williams, and that'll do it. Suns win, 114-103, the final tonight at Intuit Dome. They win their first road game of the season and are back at 500.
All right, wild weekend across Arizona as the Cardinals, of course, get buried in Seattle. Arizona rallies late over Kansas. NAU, they rolled on homecoming. ASU, they were on a bye, a much-needed bye. Plus, the Suns keep climbing with back-to-back wins over the Clippers. They'll host the Pelicans tonight. We'll break it all down as we're out here at Biggs in Peoria for tonight's Monday night affair between the Eagles and Packers at halftime. 20 lucky fans will get an opportunity to roll the dice for $10,000. Got some great drink specials and food specials for Monday Night Football. Also, we'll have the Suns-Pelicans game on as well. But that's Biggs American Bar and Grill here in the West Valley, which is real easy to find right here in the 83 district, so to speak. You can't miss it, the P83, right near the Mariners spring training facility, so not too far from that. So we're excited to be here. We're here every single Monday for Monday Night Football. And, of course, as I mentioned, it's a good one. The Eagles at the Packers. But let's get started with the Cardinals. Sunday in Seattle was a reality check for the Cardinals. They weren't just beaten. They were blown off the field. As DeMarcus Lawrence, he scored 2 defensive touchdowns in the first 16 minutes. And by the time the Cardinals caught its breath, they were down 35 points. 38 first-half points allowed were the most by a Cardinals team since 1958. And you got to give Jacoby Brissett a lot of credit. He battled to the end, 3 total touchdowns, including 2, but he was sacked 5 times, 2 fumbles. Trey McBride, maybe the only bright spot again, had 9 catches for over 125 yards. He had a touchdown. So where are the Cardinals now? They dropped to 3-6. They are 0-3 in the NFC West. San Francisco is up. They got a pretty good quarterback there now. The big question, though, are the Cardinals building or just buying time until the next quarterback era begins?
I would concur with that one right there. I think they're just buying time. I think Jacoby Brissett knows that he's the fill-in guy until the end of the year, until they decide either draft a quarterback or go find a free agent that's out there. I got to tell you what, Rock, I'm watching that game and those 2 strip sacks and same exact plays. It's like I sat there and I thought of the Tennessee game with the gaffes they had there. And then you just mentioned it. You know, the first time in 58 years, the Cardinals have had 38 points scored on them in the first half. And then the 2 plays within 7 minutes of each other, exact plays, deja vu all over again. I'm going, wow, this is just abnormal to see the Titans game, how they lost there, and to see 2 exact plays within 7 minutes of each other. That hasn't happened, I don't think 2 strip sacks for touchdowns like 60 years. Going back to the merger, going way, way back. But then the other thing you notice is just how physical and how quick and how on the ball and just ferociousness Seattle has time in and time again. They've now beaten the Cardinals 9 games in a row. Jonathan Gannon is now 3-12 within the division. And I look at McDonald, what he's done the last 2 years. He's done more in 2 years than Jonathan Gannon has done in 3 years here with this Arizona Cardinals team. And just to allow a team to rush for almost 200 yards and gash you, both sides of the offensive line, defensive line, just an absolute disaster. And talk about blowing things up. This was, folks, hate to tell you, this is a sign of things to come because I can't see it getting any better with the schedule they have.
All right, Kansas and Arizona, the Wildcats, they pulled off a thriller down in Tucson, and they clinched bowl eligibility as Quincy Craig scored the game-winning with 39 seconds left as Noah Fouhy threw 2 touchdowns. He's tied his school record now of 67 touchdowns on his career there. He ties Nick Foles. Arizona moves to 6-3, 3-3 in the Big 12. They now head to Cincinnati for more history as Fouhy chases the all-time mark, so which I think you'll nail that.
And no interceptions, took care of the ball. They rushed for about 170 yards. Yeah, I really felt that, that last drive was apropos how they ran the ball, they threw the ball. And to your point, Craig breaking it up the middle. This offensive line finally dominating. But I talking to Laz here, our alumnus from U of A. I felt U of A should have won this game going away. I thought Jalen Daniels was okay, but I thought that the U of A had some opportunities they passed on. But I think that's great. Hey, congratulations. They're bowl eligible once again. And, that final drive, when you have a 3-year quarterback like Noah Fouhy to lead the charge passing and running the ball to win that football game. And then one last Hail Mary that they had actually threw the ball out of the back of the end zone. That's how strong an arm that Jalen Daniels has.
Lumberjacks, they dominated homecoming. Ty Pennington, he was pretty good. 20 of 23, 270 yards. And the Jacks piled up 481 yards of offense. They blow out Northern Colorado 49-10. They are now 6-4 on the season. ASU, they had the weekend off. They get a little bit of a breather. It was a good time for them. They'll regroup and get ready for 11 o'clock start with West Virginia and Rich Rodriguez coming into town. All right, Suns, they swept the Clippers back-to-back games, 115-102 in Phoenix, and then 114-103 in Los Angeles. Devin Booker, he flirted with his first regular season triple-double, 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Mark Williams, 19, as his team looks pretty good. But the story is Jalen Green's reactivated his hamstring just minutes into the game on Saturday. He had 29 points that first game, as we all know. We talked about it on Friday. He's day-to-day. However, it looks as though he is definitely ruled out for tonight. Gambo over at Arizona Sports is reporting that he's most likely going to be out from 4 to 6 weeks. So here he is, re-aggravating that hamstring. And this is a guy that played all 82 games each of the past 2 regular seasons. But we were reminded on Saturday, 40 seconds in on what can happen to a player just like that. And he went up. He was in so much pain. You knew right there, this is not good.
It's almost like he had a strain and they had to take care of it. And now it's almost like he acted like it was a tear. So, hey, you know what? At this point, he may not return until late December or January now.
Probably January.
Yeah, and I just think, wow, what happened that would irritate that or cause that again? I mean, he's a very explosive guy. Mm-hmm. Moving right, moving left, and getting up and down the court, which just tells me that there's probably more of an issue there than they thought. But then again, with this Suns team, the other thing that kind of jumps out on you in watching them win 4 of the last 5 is the balanced scoring. To have all 5 of your starters, aside from Saturday night, score in double figures, and then your bench coming and having 2 or 3 guys that score in double figures speaks volumes of how this team is really starting to come around. And it's just interesting where before, last couple of years, you might have 2 or 3 guys in double figures and hope your bench would be 25 to 30 points. But now it's just so good to see how they spread the ball and to see so many guys in double figures. That's the one thing that jumps off the page to me when you look at the stat sheet.
All right, college hoops, GCU, they host Northern Illinois tonight. ASU and U of A both took care of Utah Tech. U of A and NAU will go at it tomorrow. ASU has Gonzaga on Friday. And we have tickets today that we will be giving away thanks to our friends here at Biggs. So we have a sounder we'll either play or I'll just call out a particular number, and we will have tickets for the Friday night game with Gonzaga in town. That should be a lot of fun. But U of A, obviously coming off the win with Florida, and then Utah Tech, they will have NAU down in Tucson tomorrow. NAU, they beat Justice University over the weekends, 87-55. but a rare in-state game tomorrow with Tucson, in Tucson with U of A and NAU.
Yeah, good for them to go down there. And again, that's one of those go down and see what you have and you don't have. That's extremely difficult for a team like NAU to go down to Tucson and play that team. And Koa Pete, just watching this young man and watching this U of A team get up and down the court, and to see how they're already in sync, and to see their ranking and see how the high they have, and to see this team like it is. But hey, folks, watch Koa Pete. This young man, he's legit. I just hope for all the U of A fans he sticks around for more than 1 year, because the way he looks right now, he could be, if he continues to keep it up, a one and done. But knowing the Pete family and knowing the things they stand for, they might surprise you unless they get an offer they can't refuse as far as him sticking around.
All right, it was ugly early in Seattle. Of course, the Cards fell behind 28-0 before the first half even ended. You had a pair of scooping scores that buried Arizona. But Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr., they got some touchdowns late. They fought back, but wasn't enough. We're going to roll back the tape next for our Redbird Rewind here from Biggs American Bar and Grill. It's your Monday night home for the Packers and the Eagles, and your chance for $10,000 at halftime. Appreciate you hanging out with us. We're just getting started. It's Roc and Manuch with you today here on ESPN 620.
Mondays belong to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Live from Biggs America Bar and Grill in Peoria. The guys broadcast every Monday from 1 till 4, right in P83, across from the Peoria Sports Complex at 83rd Avenue and Bell. Then stick around as they host that night's football game. Food, drinks, prizes, and a shot at cash. That's right. Each week, 20 fans get a chance to roll the dough for $10,000. $10,000 Mondays. Biggs Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Be there.
Tease the season at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, featuring the new Bushnell Wingman HD speaker. This revolutionary speaker has a built-in 3.5-inch touchscreen with front, center, and back distances. Now